Fall is all about cozy comforts, but when you're prioritizing your health, it's easy to feel like you're missing out. With Hero Bread, you can enjoy all your fall favorites because they're made with Hero Bread sliced bread loaves, tortillas, bagels, dinner rolls, and more. Try their all-new Hero Noodles with 12 grams of protein and just 80 calories. So skip replacing every carb with cauliflower and indulge in your breakfast, lunch, and dinner time favorites while still hitting your goals. From breakfast bagels and meal prepped enchiladas to mouth-watering burgers and cheesy noodles. You won't believe Hero Bread's options have 0 to 5 grams net carbs and are high fiber from the taste and texture. They've even got small batch drops of indulgent favorites like the popular Hero Croissant. And right now, Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code FALL25 at checkout. That's fall25 at hero.co. All figures are per serving of Hero Bread. Contains 2 to 18 grams of fat per serving. See the product nutrition panels on hero.co for more information.
Warning, this podcast is not vegetarian or vegan friendly.
Snorkers, good-o.
Prick with a fork. 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 There you are. Hello once again. Welcome to Prick with a Fork. It's the podcast. It's the YouTube channel all about sausages. I'm Duncan. I'm the bloke who makes sausages, eats a lot of sausages, talks about sausages. And I think you're probably in a similar place mentally as well, which is why you are here, which is a good thing. I hope you're well. On this particular session, trying a sausage that you may not have seen, but you can get them in most of your supermarkets. Now, the company is called Finnebrogue. Finnebrogue. That is the kind of label you're looking for. Finnebrogue. They make bacon, they do ham, they do burgers, but also they do sausages. They come from Northern Ireland and a place called County Down, and it's a family business, started in 1991. It's built over the decades. It's British pork, it's Irish pork, it's good stuff. But they have, as part of their range of sausages and also some of the other products, a bit called Naked. Don't worry, I'm not going to show you my beer belly, gorgeous and as sexy as it is, but you can see there on the label, Naked. Let's hope it makes it past the censors here on YouTube and indeed on Apple and Spotify and other places you might be listening to this. Now, when they talk about Naked, they're not talking about anything remotely dodgy. Not talking about some kind of lap dancing bar where people get their kit off. No, they're talking about sausages with very few, if not no, nitrates in there. Now, we live in a time where, and I don't know about you, but certainly in my case, I'm becoming more and more fussy and aware of what I put in my body. I won't lie to you, there was a time where I'd eat anything, right? Muck. Fast food muck, chemicals, preservatives, all in there, massively processed stuff. That was because I was, living a very hectic life, working all kinds of odd hours on the radio and indeed elsewhere in the media. And sometimes you're ravenous at 2:30 in the morning. All there is like a petrol station shop that has just got a load of junk in there and you eat the junk because you're hungry. The older I get, and because I'm falling apart in various places, I'm becoming more and more aware of what's important when it comes to your diet. So I'm interested in this. And I was in Waitrose earlier. Don't think I'm posh. I'm a jobbing broadcaster and journalist and a hack, but I was in there just to pick up some milk and a newspaper. And I saw these particular sausages looking at me. And actually, one of the reasons I thought I'd pick them up and do this particular podcast is there was a third off. So there's a special deal going on. Normally they're $3.95. I got these for £2.63. So it's a third off. I'll show you again what you're looking for. It's Finnebrogue. And it's their Naked range. Now, these are the Chipolatas, and we like a Chipolata for all kinds of reasons. Now, I'll go through the ingredients in a few moments' time and also a bit more information about the Naked side of things, which is basically no nitrates. And I've often said this on this podcast, if you really want to have good quality sausages that are good for you, make your own like I do, all right? And that way you don't have to have preservatives in there. I mean, yeah, you have a bit of salt, but that's about it. No nasty nitrates, preservatives or chemicals. You know what's going in there. That's the best way of doing it. If you don't want to make your sausages or whatever, then you can go to a farm shop and there still might be some preservatives in there, but certainly better than mass manufactured sausages from the supermarket. You just got to read the ingredients to be fully aware of what you're eating. Anyway, we'll get into what's in here and what's not in here in a few moments' time. But I just wanted to focus on the importance, really, of these small companies and operators. Now, there are a number of brands available in the supermarkets. You got the Heck range, you got the Jolly Hog, you got the Black Farmer, obviously Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Waitrose, Asda, Morrison's, M&S all do their own range of sausages. What I like about the Finnebrogue story is it literally grew from a family farm in the early 90s, 1991, a guy by the name of Dennis Lynn. And he's no longer with us, sadly, but his legacy lives on, and it's still a family business, and it's running today in 2025. And you can find them in most of the supermarkets. The best thing you should do is check out their website, because they do have a list of stockists. And the website, I saw a few moments ago on here. Where's it gone? Here we are, Finnebrogue.com. Finnebrogue.com will not only showcase the various products they sell alongside these sausages, other sausages and other meat products, but also tell you where you can get them. You can certainly get these in Waitrose and from Ocado as well. But I know a lot of their products also are available in Tesco and Sainsbury's and all the other places I mentioned. So go to the website, which is Finnebrogue.com. What I like about Chipolatas, the more I delve into the world of sausages, right, I find myself settling on certain views, okay? And I like a chipolata. I like a chipolata for a number of reasons. First off, they don't take as long as other sausages to cook, right? Because they're smaller. That can be a good thing. If your time's short, but you still want a banger, then a chipolata may well do the job. They're very good for breakfast as well. I don't know how much time you spend cooking a full English or a fry-up or whatever. If you have a chunky banger, sometimes that will take longer to cook than the bacon, for example, and the fried egg, right? Or indeed the scrambled egg that you might be making as well, because it's a big chunky old sausage. Whereas if it's a chipolata, they're smaller, they're thinner, therefore they don't take so much time. So I like my chipolatas as part of my full English, because if you get the timing right, you can all serve it up at once. Because I find myself sometimes doing a full English, and I've done the bacon, I'm still waiting for the sausage to cook and brown a little bit so it doesn't look too anemic. That's why I like chipolatas. They're also good with kids. Some kids don't like big sausages. We know in this day and age, children can be really fussy. I've always seen chipolatas at children's parties and they seem to wolf them down. Maybe it's the size. I don't know. Maybe it's because it looks like their fingers. I have no idea. But I like chipolatas for that. And also, my mate Rosa, who pops up on these podcasts mostly from time to time, not here this time round, but back again very soon, he makes the point with a chipolata, you can actually do something quite clever on a barbecue. So if you get a sausage, I was going to say sausage roll, not a sausage roll, but you get a bread roll for sausages, right? Like a hot dog roll. Yeah. If you have 3 chipolata, and I'll try and show you in a second. If you have 3 chipolata, you can just imagine it's a split long roll, okay? You can put 2 chipolata there, put the third one on the top, so you've got like this kind of pyramid shape. Then down one side, have a squirt of tomato ketchup. Down the other side, mustard, right? And then you encase it in the roll, and that is a mouthful of utter joy. It works with chipolatas because they're smaller and you can build that little pyramid. It doesn't work with big bangers. So those are some good reasons in our world as to why we love chipolata sausages. Let's talk about these ones. Naked, 12 good little chipolatas. They're gluten-free. That's a good thing in this day and age. This company, I think I mentioned, comes from, it's based in Northern Ireland, County Down, established 1991. There's something very unique about these sausages, and we'll get to that in a second. Now, let me tell you about their ingredients. The British or Irish pork ratio is 80%. That's perfectly decent. I mean, we like a good pork content in our sausages. 80% is fine. Anything below 75, 80, I sometimes, wobble a little bit. There's water in there, there's potato fibre, there's sea salt, there's spices, there's rice flour, there's flavourings, there's corn flour, all of the stuff you would expect from a sausage that's sold in big batches in supermarkets. The meat mix is filled into vegetable-based casings. I'll be honest, not a massive fan of that. I like it proper. I'm old school. I basically want hog casings for my skins, i.e. the stomach lining or the inside bits of a pig. That's what I like, but I also accept that for some big companies, it's cheaper to do it this way. So the casings are vegetable-based. But here's the thing. The ingredient in here that you don't normally find in most supermarket sausages, or indeed most sausages, is something called chicory fibre. Chicory fibre. Now, chicory fibre makes up 6% of this sausage. So just try and get your head around that. 80% of it is the pork. 6% of it is the chicory fibre, which I think is really, really interesting. Don't you? Chicory fibre? What do we know about chicory? I always associate chicory with coffee. Chicory fibre, I'm guessing, comes from the same place as chicory, which is the chicory root that gives you that kind of earthy, slightly nutty taste. Does that make sense? Now, what they're saying here of Finnebrogue, there's a reason why they're using chicory fibre, or as they call it, 5.1 grams of chicory inulin per serving, which is ideal as part of a balanced diet and a healthy lifestyle. Again, if you're an old geezer like me, you're getting on a bit, you've got to worry about your gut health, right? Because fellas, you know what it's like. The older you get, the old gut does get a bit dodgy. This is a really good thing to have in a sausage because it helps improve your gut health. And it says here, the beneficial effect is obtained with a daily intake of 12 grams chicory inulin. This can be from this food or from other foods. So chicory inulin, and it promotes normal gut function. And to be really blunt, make sure your bowel movements are regular. Don't want to be too graphic about it, chaps, but you know what it's like. Sometimes it's not easy to go. So there's a health aspect to these particular sausages. The naked Finnebrogue 12 good little Chipolatas. And that's got to be a good thing. Supports gut health. And again, without sounding like some kind of preacher, you know, if you're getting on a bit, if you're in middle age or whatever, and you're thinking, I just got to keep an eye on stuff, really. Got to keep an eye on how much I eat and drink and what I'm putting in my stomach. No bad thing. You can have a sausage that does a bit of good to your gut. Right. Let's eat these sausages. So I've got my special sausage fork here. A sausage fork for all purposes, big and small. In this case, quite small. And this is one of the Chipolata. Now, again, I cook these in the oven. They suggest a frying pan. I'm a big fan of cooking all of my sausages in the oven. I preheat the oven to about 160, 180, depending whether or not you have a fan. Bit of tin foil in the roasting tin, bit of baking paper, put your sausages in there. Now, these are machine made because there weren't any links involved. You just put them in the tray and off they roast. You can see there, hopefully, I had to pull the blind down. It's a very sunny day today, kind of a good colour. So let's just, well, skin is nice and crunchy. I can imagine dipping that into a fried egg. Now, the chicory really leaps out. That kind of earthy taste is coming through. Slightly nutty. Now, forgive my my noshing. Just want to enjoy the chicory. It is unusual, okay, because you don't normally get that flavour in a sausage. Certainly not any of the hundreds of sausages I sampled over the years. But that is nice. That is really, really nice and tasty. I wasn't entirely sure what to expect, I'll be honest with you. But this is nice. It's got a lovely aftertaste as well. God, I love these. These are great. That was really grim, wasn't it? A slight sweetness as well. So, let me just try and show something to you. I was explaining why we like chipolatas, because if you have a hot dog roll, you can put 3 in there, and there's like a triangle that you created. Down one line, side, bit of mustard, the other side, Tommy K. That's how you do it. Can you see? I think you can. You can see that, can't you? There you go. It's a triangle. Triangle, sauce down there, mustard down there. I really like these. I'm biased. And I'll tell you why. I don't mind openly admitting my bias because it's a small company. And they've been growing over the decades, and it's still a family business. I think that's really, really important. I think there are, a lot of multinationals out there. Reading the website, they do a really good job about explaining how they look after their staff and why good people matter in their business. I don't know anyone there, but I get the real sense that the people who run Finnebrogue and work there are decent people, and they like their food. This is really nice. I hope you can get hold of some of these. And I hope you don't mind this preaching a little bit, because whilst my doctor would say, don't eat too many sausages, the fact that there's some stuff in here that's good for your gut is no bad thing. What else could we do with these? We've established, without question, a really good full English sausage. No issue about it. I wouldn't use it with bangers and mash. I wouldn't do that because aesthetically, you want big sausages with your lovely golden mound of mash, don't you? So sort of like little chipolata poking out the mashed potatoes, a bit disappointing. You want big bangers. Great for the full English. And also, if you're going on a long car journey, and obviously you can't be breaking the law by doing this, you need to be very careful, so don't. If you're going on a long car journey, I did the other day, I went from the south coast of England up to Birmingham. Got to be honest with you, Birmingham, Friday night, first thing Saturday morning, I stayed over centre of Birmingham. It was proper grim. I don't know what's going on with Brum. But if you're doing a car journey of, 2 to 3 to 4 hours, there's always that bit of the M42 into Birmingham that's really just slow. Doing a big car journey, and you don't want to be ripped off at the motorway services, because they stick up the price of like fuel massively, right? You can see it. They've got you. They can see you coming. And not just the fuel, but the food as well. If you don't want a Burger King that's going to cost you 12 quid, what you could do is get some of these chipolatas, right? Roast them in the morning or the night before, and just take them, once they're cooked, in a little tin foil parcel, nicely just nestling where maybe your gear stick is. They're not big, as you can see. You probably don't want to be driving, holding a fork, but, just dipping your hand occasionally into where they are. And when you're stationary and your engine's off, obviously, and having an in-car sausage stack, these will be perfect for your in-car sausage snack. I like these. So, again, that slightly nutty flavour, slightly earthy, lovely aftertaste, and a little sweet sensation afterwards. These really are good. Out of 10, I never give a 10 because I've yet to have a sausage that blows my mind. But these are definitely an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. I like it. I like the unusual taste that you get. I like the fact that it's a small family business, but doing good things. I think that's worthy of support. I love the fact that the people who work there say they love working there. How many people can say they actually like their place of work, right? And I like the fact that Finnebrogue are prepared to do something that's different, just break away from the pack and do some different stuff. So I think I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Just to recap, it's Finnebrogue. That's the name of the brand. These are their naked range. No artificial additives. None of that stuff in there. You've got a healthy old dose of chicory inulin. I hope I pronounced that right. Inulin, rather. Chicory inulin. Good for your tummy. I got the special offer, Waitrose, normally $3.95 a pack, third off £2.63, 12 chipolata sausages. I think an absolute banker. And if you've got kids, I reckon your kids would love this as well. I'm just going to have one more for the road. How many have I eaten so far? Is it 4? Probably ought to stop. Yep. 9 out of 10. And I'll tell you what, if you're part of the family who are behind this particular brand, Finnebrogue, County Down, Northern Ireland, I salute you. Thank you.
Oh, we've got bangers and snorkers. I'm so in love with those porkers. Sizzle or fry, that's what I like. As long as it's real, you'll never butcher my pride. I love my blood sausage, whether black or white. I'm like a hot dog in mustard. Since a new way of stuffing I've discovered. Oh, bratwurst is fine, bratwurst delights. Cumberland rocks with an onion side. Salami, boudin, Savoy, I'm a pig hog high. Oh yeah, la la la. As long as it's in a skin, it's fine. Ooh, 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 ooh.
If you want to feel more connected to humanity and a little less alone, listen to Beautiful Anonymous. Each week, I take a phone call from one random anonymous human being. There's over 400 episodes in our back catalog. You get to feel connected to all these different people all over the world. Recent episodes include one where a lady survived a murder attempt by her own son. But then the week before that, we just talked about Star Trek. It can be anything. It's unpredictable. It's raw. It's real. Get Beautiful Anonymous wherever you listen to podcasts.